Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a fantastic, phenomenal day today. And we, the gamers of the game of life, will do absolutely everything within our modest capacity, not only to keep you where you are, but hopefully give you a sufficient amount of a gentle kickstart, the permission slip to find yourself where you belong, to the highest expression of your happiness index. Hopefully you'll give us 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 if we're super skilled slash super entertaining. And perhaps, just maybe at the end of this transition, you will choose to decide that you have learned something. Perhaps you will find us entertaining and educational at the same time. Regardless, thank you ever so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for the co-creation. Remember, it's not about the content, it's not about the channel, it's not about the module, it's about the community. So without you, none of it would have mattered. But we are in, as promised, the recap of the last 10 lessons from lesson 21 to lesson 30, just like we've promised in lesson 21, because it has hyper extended itself into 2 lessons instead of 1. Now we're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be coalescing, just like you have the chapters of the book, and then as you know all those chapters, you start to see the entirety of the storyline slash the narrative. It starts to coalesce into one. Those different narratives of each chapter start to coalesce, start to become one cohesive unit. So we're gonna zoom out and we're gonna look at the storyline of those 10 chapters, and we're gonna do a quick recap of all the lessons one after another. And let's go straight to it. Lesson 21, that was the icons. They were essentially derivatives. So you had icons. The first derivative was knowledge, and then the second derivative was the skill set, and the last derivative was module. So first we were talking about icons within the lesson number 10, become an icon. We're talking about finding the role model, finding that inspirational figure that will spur you to change your life, that person that you would wish to emulate, because we were talking about ESE, emotional social example. That yes, there are many of our brothers and sisters, particularly in a humanist framing, they will tell that humans are logic and reason, but if you have been kind enough to grace yourself with sufficient amount of the mean sample, so called, as the statisticians calling, the sufficient amount of people, you will find that this is not necessarily so. That many of our brothers and sisters are actually saying that humans are always emotional first and logical much later. They make emotional decision and they give themselves a rationalization, logical rationalization, and usually once you start looking at that logic, you shall see that much of it is mass psychology, much of it is lesson 5 and number 6. That don't believe any of it is just the BS. It's just a belief system, it's just framing, it's just a reality distortion field, as Steve Jobs used to call it. So nonetheless, ESE, emotional social example, people see other human beings and as almost as if they are in the models of negative or positive feedback loops. They are getting information and they are sending information, and that information is the feedback. When they get positive feedback from their behavioral pattern as they follow the example of the icons, they love that. They love feel validated by their fellow human beings, and we would love that for you. We would love you to give you the greatest opportunity to max out your happiness index. So you are finding your icons in the lesson 10 to attract the right people. You were learning about the behavioral patterns, about the belief systems, most importantly about the values. The values was really aligns people from different walks of life, aligns them towards one vision, one goal. Lesson number 18, the vision. So now you are searching for icons, because now you know from the lesson number 19, the modding of your life, that everything within the framework of the game of life, everything is modules. These are the mathematical systems slash models slash modules. That everything essentially is just a way at how the community co-creates and co-aligns and how they relate to each other. This is it. Everything within the game of life is building mods. Whether they are small mods like my side gig, my side hustle, or bigger mods, the mid-level companies, or larger channels, or super mods like global economies or superpowers. These are all modules, these are all mods, these are essentially different names for the same thing, different segments of humanity, communities. This is how communities co-create and relate to each other. That's what you'll be doing with your game. That whatever it is, whether it's charity, political, whether you want to create political party, whether you want to have an impact, whether you want to go around the planet, whether you want to build wells in Southeast Asia, whether you want to build entrepreneurship academies all over the planet, all of them are modules. All of it is essentially invitation for your fellow players, aka teams and affiliates, to come and co-create together, because whatever you want to do in life, you will need people, and people need the reason to align their vision of life with your vision of life. And so the vision is the collective destination, module is the means of heading towards that destination together. So now you have your modules, you know what you want to build, you are finding the icons that have co-created similar modules, or if no such module, if your module is so unique, hey, there will be once again people who will tell you that essentially everything within the free market of human ideas and human artistry is like a giant jigsaw puzzle. You don't create the new picture, you don't create the new ideas or concepts, you're just recreating slash co-creating the new sequences of existing pieces, and that's your module, that's your creation, that's your content, that's your product. Many of our brothers and sisters are framing it this way. Might be true, might be not. We don't place emphasis on the logical or ethical values. We are co-creative community, and we are all-inclusive community. We allow everyone to make up their own mind however they please. We are focusing on creating those super modules which are inclusive of billions of people. So we don't pay attention of whether it's true or false, or whether someone chooses to believe that it's positive or negative. We just ask, what's the vision? How many people are heading in the same direction within the greatest cohesion, within the framework of the KPIs of love spectrum versus fear spectrum, the happiness index, the trust index, which is the representation of alignment, of cohesion, of everyone being more or less heading in the same direction. And lastly, the freedom. Are you really free to follow your highest excitement? Are you free to do what you want to do, or are you still playing someone else's game? Are you still stuck in the module that you want to play in? That's the question that you will have to answer within your heart, beloved one. But that's essentially it. That's the long-winded explanation of lesson 21. You have your module, so you're searching for new icons. They have knowledge, so you are searching for their sources of information, or the specific information that has helped them to co-create their skill set. The knowledge is theory, skill set is practice. The greatest teachers and the greatest knowledge do not matter if you don't practice. Everything in life is practice. The XP points, these are the symbols of expediting the energy. The life is an algorithm. It is within the axis of time. So as you learn more and more, as more and more time goes, you are focusing your energy onto developing skill set, because you practice. Practice makes perfect. That's what the symbol of XP points are. And as you're developing those skill points, you become better and better of something, whether it's physical, mental, or superconscious skills. That's your skill set. It's the practical application of the knowledge that came from your icons, or your inspirations, or your role models. And that's how you start co-creating your module. And if you have the team which is essentially resembling the same, because once again, that's another pattern, that's another algorithm. The icons, knowledge, skill set, modules, it's essentially an equation. It's not hard unless you want to make it so, but please don't, because when it's the most co-creative, it's more serendipitous, so it feels effortless. I appreciate there's many of our brothers and sisters that love to work super hard. I'm not taking it away from you, but when it really starts to live its own life, it's beyond your control. So you can work yourself to death, literally, but maybe that's not what you should be doing with your life. Maybe you're just misaligned with your happiness index, but that's completely another story. So that's the lesson 21. Lesson 26, serendipitously, that's the character arc. The character arc, the textbook definition, is essentially the storyline of your character, that the the events that are happening to him and the challenges that he's overcoming, and in the process he sometimes completely flips in terms of his belief systems or framing or his skill set. But all of it is just the literal interpretation. This is just a narrative of what mathematically would be expressed as the learning curve, the skill set. The you As you acquire different levels of skill set, you are learning and learning, and you are becoming more and more proficient in applying those skills in a real life scenario. So essentially that's what character arc is. It's a learning curve, and we were talking about the fact that the most exhilarating learning curves are the zero from superhero module, the hockey stick, the exponential function, that you are struggling because something seems super difficult, and then you have that critical mass of information or critical mass of practice, and then you start to skyrocket, and then it really becomes very serendipitous, and you realize that hey, it was always a matter of time, always a matter of expediting energy. You just had to keep going. That's why I keep on telling you guys, please never give up, never surrender. Lesson number 13, keep going. So that's the skill set. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, you are growing on a daily basis. Some people say on a nanosecond basis. You are learning the skill set which is pertaining towards co-creation of your modules that you're doing with your teams, that will attract hopefully the greatest amount of affiliates and will give you guys the greatest opportunity to max out your 3 key KPIs from the lesson 1 and 2: happiness, trust, and freedom. So that was lesson number 22. 23, the affiliating with the affiliates, that you have your core team. It's a general definition: the 7 people that you spend most time with, the people who are the co-creators of your module, whether they are the Salesforce or coders, or your first the board of directors if you are floating your IPOs. Whatever it is, these are the people that you spend most time with. That's your core team. But you need more. You need more than tens. You need hundreds of thousands and eventually millions of people if you really want to create those super modules. If you are really taking your game of life to the whole new level, and I sincerely invite you to consider yourself such a possibility, even if you choose to believe it's not possible quite yet. You never underestimate the power of surprising yourself. So if you want to get to that level, you will need millions of people. In order to attract those people, you will need affiliates. So everyone outside of your core team, we call them affiliates. We don't call them investors. We don't call them subscribers. We don't call them clients. We don't use any of those terms. It's affiliates or soon to be affiliates. Because if you're creating the great modules, they sell themselves. The branding, the marketing, the sales, the great content, the great products, the great services, the great investment portfolio, the great properties sell themselves because they're so great that everyone wants to buy them, especially if the price is right. So that's essentially affiliating with the affiliate. And when you affiliate with the affiliates, you do it exactly the same as you're doing with your core team. The most important thing to remember about is the alignment of 3 things: the visions. Is their vision aligned with your vision? Or better yet, is your vision big enough that they can include their visions? Remember the lesson 18 when you were creating the 3-dimensional image slash idea slash the meme, the singular trope that was representative of the vision, the direction of your module, and the encapsulation of the culture of the team, your desires, whom you truly are, your character arcs coalescing into one. That was the vision. Is your vision big enough to include the mini visions of the people who do not dream as big as you do at this moment in time, or you will soon allow yourself to do? So that's the question. Alignment with the visions, alignment with the values, like what do they value the most, what do they spend their money, time, and effort on, and an alignment with the modules. Hey, they running companies, they have their own charities, they have their mini gigs, they have their channels. Are your modules compatible? Can you merge those 2 modules, or can you align those modules? So these are the questions you'll be asking when you'll be affiliating with affiliates. And the skill set, that one of the most important skill set, I keep on telling the people who ask me what is the most important skill set, no such thing, because it's just a BS and it's just framing. Lesson 5 and 9. However, if I would if you would press me against the wall, I would say that my personal advice to every single human being on this planet: yes to STEM fields, yes to mathematics, yes to financial literacy, yes to digital literacy. But one of the best skill sets, of course, is the social skills, the empathy, ability to listen, ability to communicate, humility, and adaptability. These are social skills. These are the skills that allow your fellow being to coalesce into one within the framework of your module. Your module is just a mathematical model. Your module is just like a CAD design. It's like a painting using the mathematical model, but the what with that's like a skeleton. That's a mathematical skeleton. But what gives us flesh is the people. It's the players of the game of life, and what coalesces those people into one is the social skills. And that's why charismatic leaders are so super important. Like, charisma score is super important in the game of life. Yes to intelligence, yes to perception, yes to wisdom, but when it comes to leadership, charisma score definitely is one of those. Because when you are developing that charismatic personality that everyone wants to co-create, because you're such an amazing human being to be around with, like, you never judge, you never criticize, you are loving, you are compassion, you are love, gratitude, and appreciation. You want everyone to do the best. These are the people which are so seldom on the market of human interactions, that people are flooding to your modules when they sense that energy. Make sure that you have a lot of that amazing love, gratitude, and appreciation, the amazing indicators of the high emotional quotient. There's another social skill. So affiliating with the affiliates, then moving forward serendipitously to the lesson 24. Oh yeah, and another thing, very quickly, the affiliating with the affiliates, guys, it oftentimes will be that the people who are the original members of the team, they'll be getting further away from the core values and the core dream, because hey, maybe their life circumstances will change, maybe they will change the vision, maybe they will change the values. Remember, the freedom index is sacred, as is yours. There'll be people who'll be leaving your core team, and there'll be affiliates who will be not replacing them. It's not about replacement, it's not about comparing human beings. Everyone is unique, everyone is special. It's just that their life circumstances will change, your life circumstances will change, the modules will change. They will no longer find themselves aligned with it. So there will be a large levels of the exchange throughout the timelines, especially if you are co-creating those modules that will be literally living on forever, long after long after you're gone. So this is it, the affiliating with the affiliates. Lesson number 24 was purely optional. That was finding your benefactor. So there will be many of our brothers and sisters within the game of life who will say, JP, I don't want to wait 6 years to manifest 1 million bucks with my company, with my team. No, we want it faster. We want our channel to generate it faster. Many of you will do it through aligning with the benefactor. So if it's a business, it can be an angel investor, it can be a hedge fund, it can be venture capital that comes with the large injection. If it's the co-creative venture, if you focus mainly on the social cloud or utilizing the social media, if the content is your quote-unquote product, then oftentimes it will be bigger content co-creator. And once you align with him, and it can be as simple as going on to someone's podcast, they oftentimes, if you are aligned with the visions and aligned with the values, the audiences will, there will be cross-pollination of interests, and the audience will naturally migrate, because this is the magic of the internet. This is the magic of co-creation of life, that it's not about this or that. You see, many of our brothers and sisters are still stuck in that mercantilistic perception of the value of life. They still think in terms of commodities. So there's only so much that you can steal from the mother earth and then put it on the market, and then all those tokens for me. No, the digital world is different. It's like, if I have an idea and I share that idea and I share it freely, and then everyone is invited to co-create, It's like the reversal of the meme of the Russian matryoshkas. Instead of having one matryoshka and then smaller matryoshka and smaller, no, you float the idea, you float the vision, you float the meme, and the people serendipitously come forth and they are adding their pieces of expression, their unique personality construct, they're adding their twist to it, their energy, and we are all co-creating something bigger. That's how you create the greatest visions, and that's how you co-create the greatest modules. So no, the value grows. When you have more players, the value grows. It doesn't diminish, far from it, because more co-creators you have, greater probability to invite other co-creators. Guys, the Facebook, Google, and ChatGPT started as open sources for a reason. Honestly, there's I know this is for many of our brothers and sisters, particularly the refugees from TikTok and refugees from the corporate world. I know that I might be a way too metaphysical at times, but there are dollars and cents attached to it as well. I remember, I want you to make love, I want you to make friends, I want you to make money at the same time. They are not mutually exclusive. Oh, okay, maybe at the same time, perhaps it's a bit of a politically incorrect statement. I'm sure you know what I mean. Anyway, that's how the digital economy works. The great ideas cross-pollinate and they grow. So you want the greatest exposure, you want most co-creators, you want most affiliates, and the benefactors can provide you that. However, there was a disclaimer, it can go super sour. You can be profiled just like you have the typecasting in Hollywood that, oh, you are affiliated with one person or one production or one character arc, that your acting range is affiliated with this particular way of framing, that someone can put you in a box and then it's hard to get out of the box. Or perhaps if the relationship goes sour, then negativity framing will be attached to you because of that meme called guilt by affiliation. So you have to be a little bit careful. The lesson 24 was purely optional. Finding your benefactor was purely optional. You don't have to necessarily do that. It can work beautifully, but it does come with risks. It does come with pitfalls. So use your best discernment, use the voice of your heart, use your best judgment. You don't have to follow that, but many of you will. Many of you will find your benefactors, you will go onto the podcasts, you will collaborate with them, and you will benefit greatly. It's a little bit like when you have had the girl or boys band and then they all went in their own direction. The benefactor, of course, in this respect, these were the large labels, but that's another story. So the option number 24, the lesson number 24, find your benefactor, purely optional. Follow your bliss, follow your highest excitement, follow your heart. Now, speaking of following, serendipitously and very synchronistically, we're moving to lesson 25, follow in order to lead. We were talking about that many of you beloved ones will be leaders of your organizations, and we still have that system when you have one or few decision makers, so you will be asked to make those very important decisions as it pertains to the how you mold your modules, how it crafts itself and how it scales itself. The best leaders are the ones who are capable of feeling that. We were using two framings. We were saying that the humanists will frame it in such a way that, hey, I've trained my brain to such an amazing degree that my brain essentially recognizes those micro cues, those tiny messages with the body language from the other people. So I'm great at recognizing opportunities. That's how you can frame it if you're a humanist. Our religionists and metaphysicists brothers will have tiny different twists depending upon their bosses, but essentially many of them will say that, no, I'm an empath now, I sense the energy, I sense the flow. So we were using the analogy of you being a tiny spider and you co-creating with other tiny spiders. That's your module, and you are all weaving that giant platform called web. And then there were many other affiliates, and as they move, they create the vibrational frequency, they create the wave function of energy. And when you become more and more in the now, in the present, when you focus on your focus, level 15, when you trust your intuition, when you elevate yourself more and more into super consciousness, when you are staying humble, when you are maxing out your happiness index, you are within 8 out of 10, and you have zero expectations, you have no attachment to expectations. The reality doesn't have to conform. You don't do it for expectations, you're just having fun, you're living in a moment, you're living blissfully. So when you have those variables, when you are maxing out those stats, you give yourself the greatest probability and you remain humble. Remember, that's just you, it's not you doing it, it's the people, AI doing it, it's the God doing it, it's the multiverse doing it, or your higher self doing it, or however, quantum field, singularity, holographic multiverse, however you wish to frame it. But stay humble, no expectations and no need for control. That's why we were talking about the lesson 16, the smart goal planning, that you know how to do smart goals and smart plans, you do them and you let them go, you have zero expectations, because then suddenly the module starts growing so fast that wow, how did that happen? Because you've let go of expectations. So you entering the flow, you, and the flow has been identified, many athletes, the performers, even the visual directors, they will tell you that when people are having fun, when they are in a state of the greatest joy, the greatest bliss, when the production team, literally it's almost as if we are having one giant party, this is the greatest, the most conducive way of everyone entering the flow, because it's not about you entering the flow, it's about everyone entering the flow. It's about you elevating your perception from my playable character, you starting to identify more and more with your team, and eventually with your module, with your team and your affiliates, which are co-creating that community within the framework of your mini game, your module of the game of life. So you are playing more and more as a module rather than as an individual. That's what it means to enter the flow, that you have many bodies but almost as if one singular mind, one collective consciousness. However you wish to frame it, humanists can say that, hey, this is just the way you perceive it. That's okay, it's your game of life, play it how you will. Just be open to that possibility that you can literally, another meme, another trope, another analogy we've used, that you are in the giant epicenter of a giant river, that river of energy, river of life. And if you go with the main current, you just flow, and it's just beautiful because it takes you to the places that other people are like, wow, how did they do that? Because other people are going against the current and other people are on the peripheries of the current, because they're just struggling with having to, they are having their expectations, they're having their frustrations. Let go of that, let go, let flow. Powerful meme. So as you entering the flow, people are joining you because you're not controlling them, you're not telling them what to do, you just want them to have fun, you just want them to have the greatest integrity and the greatest alignment with not just the team, not just affiliates, but the totality of human experience, and you want them to be free to do whatever they please. When you have that energy, when you have that modality of operation, more and more people are entering the flow, and the whole thing starts to grow serendipitously. That's what it means to follow in order to lead, where you follow the flow and you become like a beacon, like an example, like a permission slip, like an invitation, non-committal, no one has to join you, no expectations, just love, gratitude and appreciation. However, freedom index is sacred, they can join or they don't, it's up to them, it's their game of life. But when they do, magic happens. That's when you start manifesting those things that many humans frame as miracles. They're not miracles, they're alignment. There's no such thing as supernatural, it's only super, pause, natural. It's supernatural when you are supernatural, when you're doing what you are meant to do, physically, mentally, and spiritually, when you are aligned with the rest of humanity. That's when you really start to master the game of life. And we were talking about the three types of management, the type 3 management. I am the best, I am the smartest, all of it is mine. The rest of you are just support cast in this module. The second, the type 2 leadership, the developer of developers, the person that genuinely loves, he derives visceral pleasure from seeing other people's grow through overcoming the challenges and growing their character arcs, expanding their skill sets. And the type 1 leadership, the 0 point leadership, the invisible leader, the person that just flows. He flows from one highest excitement to another highest excitement to another highest excitement to another highest excitement. Oh, we're gonna do a campaign, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Oh, we're gonna do troll kitting. We'll be talking about the troll kitting very soon. Don't worry about it. we're going to have a lot of fun. Oh, we're going to be collaborating with these guys now because they are having a lot of fun. You're just going from one excitement to another excitement. You just flow, and you never say, oh, it was me, I'm planning something. No, 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 no. You just let yourself absolutely go, and you allow everyone else to align with you, and the whole module starts to live its own life. Like, no one controls it, just like you cannot control those super modules like global economy. This is why those systems are collapsing now, because there's many people who wanted to control uncontrollable. Because even by human standards, this is super crazy. So this is it. Follow in order to lead. Then the 26th lesson was leap to your leads. That when you are in the flow, you are starting to identify those key demographics within the affiliates who are most likely to be closely aligned with the decision makers, aka the team. And if you say to them very openly that, hey, we need to feed the team, we have the bills and mortgages to pay, so please, you identify it using your intuition. Yes, you can use AI for pattern recognition. Yes, you can observe behavioral patterns, aka the shopping habits. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, you can do that. But when you are in the flow, you are pure intuition. You're not controlling it, you're just identifying those people. And when they come, you sense it. It's a visceral feeling that overcomes your body. And once again, our humanist brothers and sisters can say, hey, you are great at reading people because your brain is so amazingly aligned with picking up the micro cues and reading body language. Great, however you wish to frame it. It's just, remember, we don't place the logical value on it. As long as it works for you, as long as you are open to the possibility that your intuition, your gut feel, your heart is the one that identifies that key demographic. We were talking about the Pareto principle. We were talking about the 80% of results are produced by 20% of the causes. So in terms of business, is that 20% of your clients, the recurring paying clients who are coming through the door on a regular basis, these are the best. Whatever module you have, as long as it's a business, these are the best clients to have. These are the best investors who stay with you for a long time. These are the best subscribers who love you and they show you love. They give their time, they give their energy, and they give you the money because they love the module so much that they cannot live without it. The module has become the part of the identity. That's how amazing co-creation is. And yes, many of those affiliates will eventually become the members of the team. Some of those affiliates even will come to you and buy out your modules. Like, this is so great, let's do this. That's exactly what Warren Buffett used to do. He was coming in and he was buying modules which he loved, and he was adding them to the portfolio. Everything was staying as it was. It's just on the books, the ownership has changed. From the business owner, you have become essentially an employee, but you were an employee who was employing himself, because Warren didn't know about anything about the business. He just enjoyed mathematics. He just enjoyed probability. He was just finding the best modules, which usually is finding the best people, visions, values, and behavioral patterns. Honestly, it's game of life is pure mathematics. So identify your leads, leap to your leads. When you're in the flow, you are super consciousness mode, you act as one, and you listen to the voice of your heart, you follow your intuition. Your heart knows, your brain thinks. Joe Spinoza. So that was lesson 26. Now, moving serendipitously to the lesson 27, that was the funneling your module. That was essentially that as you build your module, because we were talking about the profiling of the market, that's how non-playable characters were doing it, that they were essentially using the pattern recognition of the habits, and then they were identifying the key characteristics, and they were breaking down different people into columns, and these were the demographics. And this demographic has the highest probability of buying this product. This demographic has the highest probability of buying this product. We don't do that because we respect the freedom, and we don't necessarily want to reduce our human beings to columns. I mean, come on, human beings, as why are you dehumanizing humans like that? Remember, as you do something, you shall do everything. As you treat someone, you shall treat everyone. If you treat someone like a digit, you will attract people into your reality that will treat you like a digit. This is how the black swan effect or God or multiverse just reminds you that reality is just a one giant mirror. It doesn't show you what you want, it doesn't show you what you desire, it shows you what you have allowed yourself to become. it's 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 like you are trolling yourself. Like, why would you do that? Come on. No, we give freedom. We allow the market to profile itself. Like, this is what we do. This is who we are. We are enlightened entrepreneurs. This is our vision. We want love, peace, and abundance for all. We want it for 80% of the people because we are respectful not only to parity principle but also to freedom. There are people who choose to believe they can't do it. There are people who are so misaligned, they are aligned to service to self. They want to control, they want to destroy, they want to create wars. Not everyone will join this module, but 80% of people will. So this is what we do. We are the factory of entrepreneurs. We create millionaires every 6 years. Some new millionaire is being spawned by our module because they follow the highest excitement and they align with the greatest value, aka with the people and the planet. They just give themselves freely. They co-create their mini modules within our module. Please join us. Please feed us. Please be closest to the core, to the co-creators, because they are not more important, but they are the ones who have the greatest visibility, and they are also the ones who make the decisions of how we modify the module. So if you want to be a part of that decision making team, then this is the way how you can do it. And we were talking about affiliate marketing, we were talking about commissions, we were talking about subscriptions, we were talking about the added value that you were co-creating, hopefully open source. You were co-creating the sandbox experiences. You want to create the module in which everyone can do whatever they please, the sandbox experience, or they can co-create their own mini modules. But there is added value. There is, and how you add value, it's up to you. But that's essentially the funneling of your module, that you have the inscribed within your apps, within your chatbots, within your websites, within the genome of the company. You have the ways of people coming out of their own will, the freedom index, like, yes, I want this is so great, I want to be the part of it. I want you, if you guys are creating the history that will outlast you for hundreds of thousands, so I want my name to be there when the credits starts rolling down. I want my name to be there. I want one of my ancestors, after hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years, to say, hey, look, that's my ancestor there. He was there. He was co-creating it when no one else was there. He was Superman. He was such a badass. And here's his picture. He's right there. So if you want that, then obviously you align your time, you align your energy, and you align your money. You invest in that vision. And investment in that vision is investment in module. That's it. Maximum amount of freedom, maximum amount of trust, maximum amount of happiness. You're not selling anything. Marketing without marketing. People come to buy. So that's funneling your module. Lesson 28 was all business is show business. All of it is just razzle dazzle. Just razzle dazzle. God, I love Chicago. It's such an amazing meme. They're one of the best Hollywood productions by and large. Some of the greatest memes come from Chicago, come from Hollywood. Well, I know. It's bad for some. It's amazing. Hey, guys, however you feel about Hollywood, some of the greatest producers, greatest actors, greatest co-creators came from that. So please, I don't want to hear that many of our brothers and sisters are coming here from conspiracy theories. We love and we accept everyone, but we are strongly about the redemption arc. We don't care. Even if you've done some things which were not aligned with the greatest good of humanity, we strongly believe in redemption arc. I mean, there are some things that are too much even for us, make no mistake about that, but we want to give second chances to the people. We want zero to superhero, and we want the people to have the Darth Vader character arc, from the dark side to the light side of the force. We are non-judgmentalism, we are co-creation, we are invitation. So 28, all business is show business, because all education, all transfer of information, that's a business. You're buying it with your time, with that you're buying it with your attention, you're buying it with your money. Usually you're buying it with a combination of all three. So all business is about transfer of information, about communication, exchange. That's business. And the show business is about co-creation. It's about artistry. It's about providing value. And value, the greatest value for humans is, of course, emotional value. How does it make you feel when you're selling the products, when you're selling the content, when you're selling the modules, when you're selling investment portfolios, when you're selling properties, these are permission slips. This is the way that that person will frame to their super consciousness. I have this now. I choose to believe I'm more valid. Now you can be happy. Give me my endorphin hit. That is essentially what the value, the emotional value is. But the great emotional value is not just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. The great emotional value is when you provide, just like with the great information, the very small segment of the market, the other co-creators can give you that information. The same with the great entertainment. No, you want to explore the totality of the emotional palette. The great stories are not only about love, it's about the storyline of getting to love. It's about overcoming challenges. It's about learning something you've never known. It's about learning about yourself that you've never known. It's about those emotions that no one else can give you. That's great engagement. Engagement is not just entertainment. Engagement is being physically, mentally, and spiritually occupied. When you are focused, when you are engaged on developing your character arc, which eventually becomes the storyline of your module. That's what storyline is. It's a storyline of someone's module. Every single, whether it's poetry, whether it's prose, whether it's Hollywood productions, they are within framework of someone's module and they are developing their character arcs. That's storyline. You have the storyline, your character arc, the character arcs of the co-creators, your team and your affiliates. Closest and soon to be closest affiliates. So that's the show business versus business. It's always entertainment and it's always education. E&E, that's the X factor, that's the televisability factor. Greater televisability factor, more entertaining you are to watch, more value you give to your fellow human beings. They learn more and they have more greater emotional expression. Yes, you want to take them, you want to make them laugh, you want to make them valid, you want to make them feel great about themselves, about their life circumstances, about their modules. Yes. And when you give them that, that's the televisability factor. That's when you are increasing dramatically your probability of becoming viral. Because once again, it's the law of supply and demand. It's the basic foundational basis of economics, which is that branch of mathematics that pertains to that giant module called global economy. It's the law, it's the game of probability. If you are one of that, once again, the dehumanizing term of breaking down people into demographics, breaking down people into numbers. Mathematicians and economists used to do that a lot. They're so dehumanizing to us. How dare you? I'm gonna go so Greta Thunberg. How dare you? No, guys, no. Please, leave poor Greta alone. Greta Thunberg did nothing wrong. Guys, we love everyone. We love all co-creators. Greta Thunberg, the friend of the show. And the economists and mathematicians are friends of the show as well. But going back to that market, when you are that segment of the market that gives the education and gives the entertainment, that you know what, after watching your videos, like, no, this, I can't get those endorphin hits from anywhere else. That's televisability value. That's when it becomes viral, because people want the feedback loop. People want to say, hey, am I the only one feeling this, or are you feeling this too? Do you feel that vibe? That's the feedback loop. That's why people are sharing the videos, because that's essentially how we communicate, how we co-create, how we educate, how we do business and show business at the same time. That's the essence of razzle dazzle. So that is the lesson 27. Lesson 28. Oh, sorry, that was lesson 28. Lesson 29, the genome of your life. I mean, once again, it pertains to those two factors. So you have, just like in the genome, you have the helix. So you have the double helix, aka you have two strands of the chromosome, but in reality they create one genome. And this is, you will see that duality throughout the vastness of the multiverse, and we will be talking more and more about it when we talk about metaphysics of manifestation. But for the time being, it's like two different things that seem to be separate, but they're not. Just like you have male and female, you have night and day, you have order and you have chaos. They seem to be opposing, but in reality they are co-creating. And the same thing with the genome of your life, which we were talking vis-a-vis the show business, the televisability of your modules. Now you'll be televising your life. Now you'll be imagining that there's a camera crew following you every time you wish to be followed, every time you go out to the people, every time you co-create. And the greatest performance and the greatest artists will say you always co-create. You just didn't know about it. Like I told you guys, everyone is a co-creator, everyone is entrepreneur, because everyone co-creates and everyone solves problems. Whether you are pitching it to the right market, whether you are monetizing your passion, your artistry, that's quite another matter altogether. But it's always entertainment and it's always education. Always give both. And remember, it's flowing simultaneously in both directions. So you're always learning and you're always teaching, and it's always exchange of energy as well, that you are sending vibrational frequency, you are sending permission slip for others to change the vibrational frequency and hopefully raise it, but so they do. That's the feedback loop. They send back your energy. This is why the system lives its own life, because it becomes a one giant living organism and you're just a nod in it. You are not more, you are not less, you're not equal, you are one. Just like you have the cells within your body. This cell is not more important than this cell. The question doesn't even make sense, and yet people are wasting so much of their precious life force on this nonsense. Once the module becomes one, it's like with the giant brain. No cell is more important than the other. Yes, sure, you have the cells in the frontal lobe. They are the decision makers. They are the ones who love to seduce themselves with their belief systems that they are the most important. No, they don't. Every cell is a reflection of the totality of existence, because we'll be talking about the brain being a hologram and the multiverse being a hologram, that every cell has access to the totality of all information within the brain. Don't tell that to the neuroscientists. They might be upset. It's just many scientists get upset when you tell them the truth. But this is essentially it. Whether you are CEO or you're a janitor in the module, it doesn't matter, because you are one. You are one giant module. Everyone is priceless. And when most of the people will have that framing, that perception, that modality, that vibrational frequency, I am priceless, you are priceless, the whole module is priceless, the whole giant module called planet Earth, third density, is priceless. Guys, honestly, the co-creating the new Earth 2.0 will become not only possible, it will become effortless. Like the game of life was never meant to be super hard. It's super hard when you are super misaligned, when you are clashing, when you are fighting, when there's a fight between mind and body, and then it manifests externally as conflict between members of the family, and then it spreads, it reverberates. It's like conflicts between communities and then nation states. But in reality, it's the internal conflict. It's the conflict between mind and body. It's the conflict between education and entertainment. It's the conflict between light and darkness, between truth and falsehood, between love and fear. The battle was always within, never without. Don't worry about the planet Earth. Planet Earth is fine. It's like that amazing co-creator slash influencer, George Carlin. Planet is fine. The people are clacked. No, guys, no, planet is fine, and people are fine too. People are amazing. So, moving always super swiftly, it's always both. It's education and entertainment, and from now on, whether it's your character arc, whether it's your module, whether it's a super module when you're aligning different modules together, whether it's character arcs of your team, always pay attention to both. Are we giving great education? Are we giving great entertainment? Always feel as if you are being watched, because guess what? You just might be. Right? The Palantir is actually looking through those comment sections as we speak, so be at your best behavior. No, Chris, no, please. Okay, so that was the genome of your life. It's always education, it's always co-creation at the same time, the information and emotion, energy at the same time. Please keep it in mind. Lesson number 30. the gamers versus players. So essentially, the gamers are the ones who love to win, and the players are the ones who love to build. And you have proclivities, just like we were discussing in lesson 20, the specialization versus multi-classing, that you have to decide whether you want to specialize within a very narrow field of your skill set, or whether you want to cross-pollinate across various industry, across various skill sets. Same thing here, that you have to decide, because it's always both. Sure, people are saying that I'm extrovert, you're introvert. No, it's a spectrum. Same thing here. People are gamers and players at the same time, but closer to one extremity or the other extremity. Do you love to win, or do you love to create? That's the question that you'll be asking. That's the question that the rest of your team will be asking. That's the question that everyone will be asking as you are co-creating with your affiliates. Your modules have to be for both. Your modules will have to give you the score points, and your modules have to give the artistic proclivities. The reason being why there's so much conflict, because once again, this is another axis, and people cannot marry those two together because they are so in conflict together. I'll give you a specific example. If you ever wondered, if you have that framing that Hollywood productions are less and less than they were, why? Because the guys in the boardrooms, this is corporate America, they are the gamers. They love to win. The score point is called money. The score point is the tokens from the central bank, aka Federal Reserve. That's the score point of success. And then there's another group on the other side of the equation, on the other side of the spectrum. You have the players, you have the actors, you have the directors, you have the people who are the visual directors, you have the CGI guys, you have artists. You cannot, when the artist spends 10, sometimes 12 hours in his studio co-creating his craft, is just letting his soul flow and then sharing it with the rest of humanity to inspire and awe and admiration. He's not worried about the score point. He doesn't even care whether someone will see it. This is the way you allow your soul to flow. The last thing you want is some externalized tokens of other people's appreciation. No, this is bigger than that. This is your soul. This is what players do. They take their craft, they take their artistry very seriously. And there's a clash, because these people want to market it, these people want to sell, these people want to build. So there's a bit of a challenge here. But this is it. Your modules have to be both. Your modules have to be accommodative to both. In lesson 31, we will show you exactly how it's done, how you can merge those two modalities. But this was very long. If you have lasted to this long, then please give yourself a massive round of applause, because you are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I hope you have learned something positive, and I hope you have had a wonderful time. If you want to rate your happiness index, if you want to give me the score, how educational did you find it from 1 to 10 scale, and how entertaining from 1 to 10, you are more than welcome to do so. There are no good or bad answers. I'm very thick-skinned. I will take it. Whatever it was, I'm sending you love, gratitude, and appreciation. My secret desire is that it has inspired you to be a part of this co-creative community, because this community is your springboard. It's not about me, it's not about the content, it's about all those beautiful people downstairs in the comment section. Many of those people will take you to your vision, just as you are helping them to get to their vision. Oftentimes you'll discover it's the same vision, but this is it. I hope it has become inspirational for you. I hope you are beginning to realize that if you're not following your highest excitement, if you're not allowing your flow, your soul to flow freely through your artistry, you are doing disservice to the totality of human experience. Not just the totality of the planet, but this star system, this galaxy, and all galaxies. We are not complete without you. So please, 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 I'm not pressurizing you. Whenever you're ready, let go and let flow. And I hope you will have an amazing day, an incredible life. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys all.